Hey, boys and goyles. It's not Halloween, but it is the beginning of January, which is scary enough. Ooh, spooky times. All right, this is welcome to Respawning Fire, Kick-Ass Reverend Gaming Podcast from RAF Idiots. I'm one of your hosts, Adam, Pete in the Pot at Work, Gumbert. And today we have Chad, something crazy in the middle, Michael Ennis.
Oh, very good, very clever. If they subscribed to our wallets, our specific wallets, they'd be able to join us in our homes for the pre-show, so they understand the Pete in my pot at work joke. But that's between me, you, and my dog. No one else knows, and you'll never know.
And our wallets, apparently.
And our wallets.
Watch us on twitch.tv/AffleBiddy at Sunday evenings at 8:30 Eastern. YouTube and podcast services Tuesday at 9 in the morning. Chad, we've got a fun show for us. By the way, Alex isn't here because he's watching the best movie of the year, so I'm going to crack this can anyways.
The best movie of 2023? Avatar 2 by James Cameron, brought to you by Push, the novel by Sapphire.
Aren't those credit cards? Yeah, no, he's watching Avatar 2. By the way, I saw Avatar 2 yesterday, I think, when we're recording this. Have you seen it yet?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Opening night, baby.
Okay.
Big old
like
IMAX
it?
screen over in San Francisco.
Yeah. Fancy, right?
I thought it was a technological marvel. The 3D was like flawless. It's incredible. There's some weirdness with the frame rates varying,
The frame rate stuff.
but you get used to it, I guess. I thought it was the stupidest fucking military plot line, and we don't need the military stuff in that movie anymore. Get it out, dig it up, get it out. But other than that, the movie was just like beautiful to watch.
Real pretty. It's just crazy. That movie was just like basically 90% CG. Looks great. It's wonderful. But upcoming on today's show, not more Avatar talk. Maybe, actually, there could be Avatar talk if we wanted to. But we basically got some news from CES. We've got unions going on. But first, are the fucking shortages over?
Ryan,
Dirty Mouth Ryan
man.
Dinsdale. That guy at IGN.com. Sony has announced that its PS5 console has now surpassed more than 30 million units sold, and the console shortage is now essentially over. Oh, baby. Go to the store, go to Target, pick up Rick and Morty Season 6 DVDs, and get a PS5 at the same time.
Walk in there, start bashing glass. Jim Ryan told me you would have PlayStations, and you don't today.
You can blame Jim Ryan. SIE President Jim Ryan revealed the new figure at Sony CES Tech Conference. It's all quotes from Mr. Ryan himself. We truly appreciate the support and patience of the PlayStation community as we manage unprecedented demand amid global challenges over the past 2 years. PS5 supply improved toward the end of the year, and I'm happy to share that December was the biggest month ever for the PS5 console. Sold more than 30 million units through to consumers, not customers. I guess the same thing, worldwide. Confident that supply issues are now completely solved, Ryan added that everyone who wants a PS5 should have a much easier time finding one at retailers globally, starting from this point forward. So this man who sent emails about his dog is now telling you you should be able to find one in store. So I guess, and I would just say starting out, if this means that the global semiconductor issue seems to be mostly resolved, that's good for everybody. You can finally get a charger in your car now.
Yeah, you can get a car that has USB ports in it, and they're not just empty ports in your car. Yeah, this is all sorts of things. Like, Steam Deck is finally caught up, and you can just order one on demand. Analog Pocket, they're like a little bit ahead of schedule, shipping shit out. It's just like the woes seem to be calmed. They seem to be thwarted. So this is very exciting. This will hopefully, 30 million units. They announced 30 million units. I was like, damn, you know what though? Nintendo Switch has sold like 53,000 trillion million. So
That's true.
So, but hopefully now that they can actually create PS5s and to keep up with demand, it'll shoot up a little bit higher.
That's good all around. So people can finally get, again, I think we mentioned it last week, how basically, it was a prediction I made that, any games exclusives going forward, they're not even going to say PS4 exists. I think this is part of it. They're like, hey, if you care about these PlayStation games, go buy PS5. You can kind of find one in stores now. You don't have an excuse.
Yeah.
Which is good for me as someone who has it.
This pissed me off the other day. My older sister, doesn't have any idea what's going on in the tech sector, any idea about video games. 2 days before Christmas, she texts my brother and I and says, "Hey, I think I might get Chris a PS5 for Christmas. You know where I can get one last minute?" And we both laughed and we said, "Ha ha ha, you are way behind. There's no way you're going to get it." And she goes on Walmart.com, finds that there are 2 left in the whole city of Charlotte, and she goes and picks one up within like 2 hours. I'm like, fuck
Charlotte's
you.
not even a small city either.
I know. So
It'd be
pissed.
different if she lived in like Arlen, Texas. So it's like, of course you can get a PS5 at the local mom and pop 5 and dime fucking Love's Chicken shop or whatever. But Charlotte, that's pretty impressive. She got it at Walmart in Charlotte.
Yeah, I was so pissed. It was like the shit that I went through to get my PS5, the several months leading up to it. Oh my God.
That's because you won it on day one. You know, if you just wait and don't care, you can get it much easier.
Yep.
Apparently, she's proven that. So yeah, that's good. Good for people who want it. Adam is echoing. Did you fix that?
I fixed it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Smitty, for pointing it out. It's Chad's fault, and we can move on and never mention it again because I don't want him to feel too bad about it. But yeah, that's it. Anything else? Anything interesting? I mean, cool. Sales numbers, you can get them.
Dope. Hopefully this means that anyone who wants a PSVR 2 can also get a PS5 because PSVR 2 is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they're making enough for people who want those. Yeah. I mean, they have the parts now. And that's the thing. We were making the joke about Switches before, but like the chips you need to make one PS5 makes like 30 Switches. So there's going to be even more Switches available for everybody, you know? I'm just messing around. But we will go on to Playtime though. Playtime. We're playing things on the Playtime.
You want me to start? Okay.
Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
I will start with a game called High on Life. I told everyone last week that I played like 15 minutes of it, and I was immediately sold. Adam, I played maybe 15, 20 more minutes this week, but I was in that game for about an hour.
Yep.
So I got back in the game. I went and talked to this guy with 3 eyeballs. He's supposed to be a bounty hunter, and he's like, "Hey, fucking, here's your suit." It was littered with ads. Oh, yeah, I pawned off my licensing fee because I needed some money. So go back to the pawn shop, and until you do, there's just going to be a bunch of ads popping up in your visor. And they were all silly, funny ads. So I sat there and waited for every ad to pop up so I could read them, and I dismissed them and kept doing that until I ran into the same ads again. And then I was just walking down the street in this city on my way to wherever I was supposed to go, and I just walked by this store, and there was a TV playing outside the store. And I stood in front of that TV and watched fucking commercials for almost 20 minutes, Adam, because there are almost at least 20 minutes worth of commercials before I finally saw one again. They're like randomized, so it's not like random, you'll see it's not a loop. But it's that intergalactic cable episode of Rick and Morty where it's just like a bunch of it's like, "Do you have boogers in your nose? Don't do that. That's gross. Ew. How about you put this spaghetti in there instead? No spaghetti. We are not affiliated with Nose Noodles. Those fucks took our product." And I just watched that shit. And then there's like, "Hi, I'm a comedian and I prank call people and I'm Mr. Goofy and I call people." And then he just like calls people, "Hey, what's up? I'm Mr. Goofy and I prank call people." I'm like, "Oh, well, you just ruined it." And it's total nonsense, and it's so stupid. And I stood in the game and watched that TV of ads on the side of a building instead of doing whatever I was supposed to do for almost 20 minutes. And then, Adam, I was like, fuck it. I gotta make progress in this game.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I went and killed the first boss, your first contract that you get in that game.
Killed that kid?
Killed the kid, got the trophy that says you can't do this in Fallout because your gun is like, "Man, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to kill kids in video games, but this is wild. You were able to kill that kid. That's awesome." And then you find out he's 30, so he's not a kid. Anyway, so I killed the first boss, and then I went back to claim my reward for my bounty, and the guy was like, "Whoa, I thought you'd be dead. Go out and do this other thing." And I was like, "Okay." And I get the second quest, and I start walking through my home where the alien is just sitting on the couch, watching TV, and the TV turns on. And I'm like, okay, what was on the side of the building was funny enough. And I turn around, Adam, and the TV, it's like the intro of something called Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what the hell this is. And then the credits start rolling. And it's Denise Richards. And it's actually Denise. I was like, holy fuck, they got Denise. Wait a minute, that's young Denise Richards. Where did they get this footage from? And then it says Paul Walker as Michael. And I was like, wait a minute, Paul Walker's dead. And then he shows up on screen. It was like, is this a real movie? There's a real movie from 1994 called Tammy and the T-Rex that they play. That the alien in this house, like you're supposed to go out and this alien in the house just turns on the TV and starts watching Tammy and the T-Rex. And it plays the entire movie. I was just sitting there watching it with him thinking, how long is this going to go? What a funny joke. And I was laughing. And then it kept going. And then it kept going. And 10 minutes into this movie, I finally Googled it and found out you can sit there and watch the entirety of the film. And it's not like it's like big and plastered everywhere. It's just like a random NPC turns it on in the background on a TV in a house. And it's like,
wild.
This game is fucking wild. And I know that I'm going to spend the rest of my life in it. And I'm going to want to explore every stupid joke. So I am not going to play it anymore. Because I'm playing it right now through Game Pass 1, which expires in 2 days.
Gotcha.
And I know I'm going to want to spend a ton of time exploring and finding every nook and cranny in this thing. So, but I also, like, if I'm going to spend so much time in this game, I want to get rewarded for it with a platinum trophy. So I'm going to wait to continue playing this game until it comes to PlayStation. They have not confirmed that it is, but Justin Roiland was on Kind of Funny Podcast. And when Greg asked him about it, he was just like, "Oh man, come on! It's on Xbox right now. Go play it on Xbox." And, and from
I'm
that, I
guessing
can be
6
like,
months or a
it's,
year or
it's
something.
going to be coming to
It'll be
PlayStation
eventually.
pretty soon. So,
What I will say though, Chad, is that yes, you can watch it on the TV in the house. What if I told you there's a movie theater in the game where you can actually just watch all the movies on a movie theater?
no way.
And you can watch Tammy and the T-Rex on an actual, like, it'll fill your screen like properly. You can
That's
just watch Tammy and the
fucking
T-Rex on it.
wild. That's so stupid.
That's the only point of
love
it.
it
You can
so
just
much.
you can go to a movie theater, and that's the only point is to watch the bad movies that they put in the gaming. It's pretty good. They're multiple.
wild.
I think there's 4 movies. They're all awful, like fun, campy, bad, awful movies. Yeah, the fact that you see Tammy and the T-Rex first was like, oh, I know what this is, and that's wild that this is a thing in this game. But yeah, it's cool.
It's so stupid. I love it. Next up, I was like, all right, I gotta play something other than Destiny. Obviously, playing the usual Destiny. We did a raid this week. We did Vow the Disciple. I got a cool patch because I completed the Triumph that allowed me to buy a patch for $15 plus like $700 shipping, and it'll come here in 8 months. So
Wow, it's a lot of shit.
yeah, whew, that's how they get you. But I was like, I got to play something else, and so I was tossing between Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Rebirth, Reborn, Reunited, whatever.
Remaster.
Yeah, it is one of those. I was like, should I start that? Because I bought it already. Or should I start Marvel's Marvelous Midnight Suns?
It's interesting. You have extra words in there.
Yeah, I did that to throw you off. So I started Midnight Suns. I was like, all right, this will be a game that I can kind of pick up. And I know Crisis Core is a game that's built on the PSP, so it's that pick up and play, do a mission, do 2 missions, 3 missions, whatever, put it down. But this is what I kind of felt like I was itching for in the moment. And I'm hooked on it, Adam. It is so good. I started playing it last night, picked it up again this morning, played it a little bit into the afternoon. I think I might like strategy games.
The good ones.
Exactly. I had not until fucking Mario Rabbids. I had not liked strategy games. I was like, no, this is not my genre. Anything that comes out in it, not interested 100%. And then I was like, oh, except for Mario Rabbids. And then Mario Rabbids 2, same thing, great. And then Midnight Suns was like, fuck, I think I like these things. Maybe I just haven't played good ones yet. Having a grand time with this. It's also, I'm in that card game type mode and mood with Inscription and then now Magic and all that kind of stuff. So that really helped. It's scratching that itch too. Plus, just it is. People talk about Kojima games being all talk and very little gameplay. This game, if you want talk, whoo-wee, there's a lot of talking to do, and I'm enjoying all of it. All the conversation, all the dialogue so far is really good. So I'm enjoying it.
For most.
Right now, I am just getting into the scratching the surface of the Blade and Captain Marvel romance.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and Blade being all horny for Captain Marvel. So
good couple.
Yep. I'm not super far into it. I just beat not beat, I guess, Venom. You know, I fought Venom once, and then you know, I'm working towards whatever's next. But yeah, it's cool to see all those characters coming back in ways that I don't necessarily know all of. I don't know the Runaways, so I'm like learning the story of the Runaways for the first time, talking to what's her face with the staff, and yeah. So that's cool. Kind of makes me want to watch that show like you did. And
Magic's really cool.
I haven't right now. I'm fine. I have to locate Magic. That's the last thing that that's where I left off right now. So I haven't really talked to Magic yet.
Apparently, she was in that New Mutants movie that nobody watched.
Yeah. Oh, I watched it. It was bad.
Maybe I'll watch this bad movie because I actually like the character after after playing the game. She's really cool in the game. So I'm glad you're liking it. It was bad. It was bad.
The New Mutants movie was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Not a question. Yeah. So everyone knows our list. We just have initials most of the time, and we don't write out what it is. IB. I'm gonna guess irritable bowels.
Yeah. I've been sitting on the toilet a lot, playing my analog. No. So this is a specific part of Destiny that comes around twice a season called Iron Banner.
Oh yeah.
And it's it's a competitive mode. You can only play it for a week at a time, and it's only there twice a season. So if you want to get the rewards from it, there's a new armor set this season, which looks really cool. There's specifically though, there is a shader that you can only get after you reset your rank in Iron Banner and then almost reset it again. And the shader turns anything that's made of cloth into chainmail.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it looks fucking dope. And so I was like, damn it. I just did enough Iron Banner to like get all the triumphs out of the way, get all the weekly challenges. I was like, cool, I'm done with Iron Banner. And then today I read an article in Forbes. It's like people are forming groups specifically to lose Iron Banner just to earn the reputation to get this shader. Because an Iron Banner match can take, and often does take the entire time, can take up to 10 minutes. If you're actually playing it as it should, which is fine. It's a really fun mode. I really, really love the twist on it this time. It's capturing zones, but it's also, after a certain amount of time, there's a bunch of Cabal come down in the middle, and you have to capture one high-value zone in the middle. So it's a fun fight for that. The Titan bubbles everywhere. But 10 minutes is a long time, and you have to play a lot of Iron Banner to get this shader. So yeah, if you go to the LFG, looking for group part of the Destiny app, there are a ton of people who are in there for LFG, Iron Banner, Lost Farm, I think is what most people are calling it.
Lost Farm.
And you get 6 people all together, and you go in there, you don't capture anything, and you all just emote and jump around, and Mercy kills you, or Mercy ends the match after 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So yes, you lose, but by losing, you get like 220 reputation, whereas a win gets you 300. So
you might as well just lose quickly.
Exactly. Yeah, and if you fight like hell to the 10-minute mark, there's a very good chance you're going to lose anyway, if you're me, at least, because you're not good at competitive first-person shooters. So yeah, I joined a bunch. So I was going to play more Marvel's Midnight Suns this afternoon, but then I read that article, and I'm like, fuck, all right, 2 hours before this podcast of just jumping into this group, going, and it's just flooded with people. It's like, all right, we're just going to go in there and emote. And then our very first match was against a group that also wasn't going to do anything, and nobody was capturing zones. We're like, fuck, one of us has got to do it. So yeah, it's much, much quicker. You're earning it basically 3 times faster than if you were to actually play Iron Banner. So hopefully I'll get all that done before it resets on Tuesday morning and get that hot shader.
I hope so. That sounds like a good shader.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And that's it. That's all I played this week.
Okay. I'm just typing something up. All right, cool. Well, then we will go ahead and move on to the quest log. Oh, wait, no, not quest log. I didn't talk about what I played.
No, you got to talk about Baldur's Gate 3, baby.
Yeah, I started playing Baldur's Gate 3. So they're done with all the updates in early access, and they're going to be like, it comes out in August, but here's all the stuff for early access. I haven't played it in a year. I looked on the thing, and it's like, oh, my last save was like January 2nd of 2022. I was like, oh, okay, it's been a long time. And basically they have, I don't know how much more they're going to add, but when I went in there, I'm like, oh, there's stuff completely different. There's cutscenes and characters and places and stuff I've never seen before. And I was like, oh shit, I'm not even done with the game. And basically every class is in the game except for one, which I'm assuming will just come with the official release. So there's a bunch of new options and playing stuff I've never played before. And it's like, it looks completely different from when I played it. And I'm like, excited. Let's go. I've only played a couple hours of it because I was just sitting at my PC and like, you know what? Might as well. It's right here. But the main thing I did, which is it came out in December, and I wish I had known ahead of time, just because, like you like come down from like Game of the Year stuff and you're just like, don't play games or you dick around or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have played this. Chained Echoes, which is it's on Game Pass. It's on everything, but it's on Game Pass is the way that I played it. And I'm not a super big nostalgia like, oh, I'm gonna play fucking what's that game that everyone likes? Chrono Trigger. I'm not like one of those people who are like, it's 2023, let me play Chrono Trigger again. But Chained Echoes is basically a Super NES RPG. So think, old Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger. It's like that style. But just like the way you play it, it's like so here's the pitch, right? So think of Super NES RPG, like 16-bit RPG, right?
Yep.
It's your fantasy stuff. There's anthropomorphic animals. There's a big bull man. There's a big bird man. And there's people walking around. And there's castles. And, people have magic and swords or whatever. But there's also mechs. Just like, for no reason, people have mechs. Just in the fantasy world. And some of your guys are pilots of those mechs. And it exactly like one of those, but it's so much faster and so much quality of life thing. Like you literally, so you go into a battle, right? And it's got the really cool system where like you see the order up in the corner, and then on the left side there's a thing called overdrive. So based on you do attacks and stuff to move from yellow to green, and you want to stay in the green based on your abilities and shit. Because if you go red, you take double damage, but if you stay in the green, everything costs less and you do more damage. So it's like, hey, let me do things to stay in this zone to do extra damage to people. And when you finish a battle, you automatically heal. And all of your mana and stuff comes back 100% immediately. You don't have to waste time. I love it. I don't have to waste any time. It's like, let me do a fight. All right, everyone's at full. Let's go. Tough fight. We're done. Next fight, we're full again. I love it. Don't have to waste my time on a bunch of items and resting at taverns and all that bullshit that those old games would do. It's just like, nah, just enjoy it and have fun. Like it's so low impact. And it's like, I don't play these games a lot, so it's fun for me to like get into one of those. So Chained Echoes was great. And then it reviewed super fucking well. Again, no one had any idea because it came out December 8th, but it like reviewed super well and people were really digging it. So I would suggest it. I don't even like these kind of games, and I'm digging it.
It's out on basically everything too. I was just wondering. Oh, it's Deck 13 published it too. What have they done? Did they do the Surge 2?
No. I think that's Hangar. What is Deck 13? Let's see what that they've done. Deck 13, the little pirate ship logo. Yeah, I recognize that. What have they done? Lords of the Fallen and the Surge. Yeah, no, same people. Yeah. Okay, dope. Very cool. Hey, look at you recognizing that from the Surge, dude.
I fucking love the Surge. Nobody played that game. Well, if you're a Dark Souls fan and you want a sci-fi version of Dark Souls, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah. Surge 2 is awesome. But yeah, Chained Echoes is great. It reviewed well. I wish I listened to people because it's really good. So yeah, everyone check it out. Good stuff. And now we can go on to our quest log because we've talked about everything.
Nice.
We got some more CES announcements from Sony. Oh, here's Sony hanging out at CES. Come watch us. Jason Finelli at GameSpot. That's what he said in his article. During the Sony CES 2023 press conference, SIE Chairman Jim Ryan announced Project Leonardo, a new accessibility controller kit for PlayStation 5. Project Leonardo features a circular base and a kit of swappable buttons and joysticks that can be fully customized to the player's specific needs. It was developed, quote, with key contributions from accessibility experts, community members, and game developers. The PlayStation blog also states that the PS5 will allow those using the Project Leonardo controller to fully customize controls across all software, including mapping multiple buttons to the same sampleless. Get excited for a movie area. Anyways, I don't know what that's talking about. Multiple Leonardo controllers can be paired, as can DualSense controllers, in order to be used as a single controller. No official release information, including price, release date, only that the controller's in development. So I like this cool thing. If you see it, it's actually really cool. So like we have the Xbox one, which is basically like, looks like a fight stick, like it's a square stick and it's got like the two like pads on it, like the circle pads.
Yeah.
And you can customize it and stuff. This is basically like a joystick and then a circle of buttons.
It kind of reminded me of, you ever played the Simon thing as a kid? The like circle, the lights, and you got to hit the lights at the same time. It kind of reminded me of that, but black and white.
Yeah, black and white with the joystick on it. So it looks really, I'm not sure exactly how it works with accessibility, as not needing any of those products myself, but it looks like a cool design and a thing that would work. It's like, hey, just the joystick, and then again, you can like have two of them or only use one of them, pair them up. All that sounds cool. And more accessibility stuff is never bad. Period. So I'm glad that all the big companies are doing it now. Except
It
for
also
Nintendo,
has,
of course, but
it's like customizable in a way that like there are things that you can put onto it that allow you to easily hit two buttons at once for anything that you might have to hit two buttons for, especially like fighting games, that kind of stuff. We have to do combos. Or I assume that's what these ports are for. I saw a couple of ports on there that look like they might be able to attach external switches to. So like people who might not have like motor control over their limbs might like hit switches on their headrest or something like that with their head to hit buttons. So it looks like you might be able to like wire in external, like your own external switches into this thing to act as buttons as well, which looks really cool.
yeah, very cool. We'll see when it comes out, but again, that's awesome that people are making those kind of things. Cool announcement at CES. And then there's a little, they talk about PSVR 2 because they're running out of time to talk about it, I suppose. So we have some more
Next
PSVR
month,
2
baby!
Games. Yeah. What is it? February what?
22nd, I believe. It's
Oh,
either
so they
22nd or 28th.
A little bit then. All right. Are there 28 days in February?
Yeah.
Is it a leap year?
Not on an odd year. Only presidential election years.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's true. Gran Turismo 7's VR experience will be a free upgrade to the existing PlayStation 5 version of the game, which means that the entire GT7 experience will be playable in VR. That will launch the same day as PSVR 2. Beat Saber, Chad's favorite game of all time, was confirmed to be in development for PSVR 2, though no announcement came with the release timeframe. So they're like, hey, the most popular VR game of all time, we're making it again. Nothing else. And then there was also, I didn't put it in here because it doesn't really matter, but there was a trailer for that movie, Gran Turismo.
Yeah. Yeah, I really wanted Gran Turismo to be a movie like Cars, where the cars are the characters, and not where we see like who was it? Who was in it? I can't even remember who was in it.
Oh,
Tom
Orlando
Hiddleston
Bloom.
was he in it? No, Orlando Bloom. That's what it was.
Orlando Bloom and someone else. Let me be honest.
Hopper from Stranger Things.
Oh,
David
yeah.
Harbour. Yeah.
Stop calling him Hopper. It's David Harbour. The main thing for me about the movie, again, not a huge deal. I think the idea of it, because like there was like a really guy who played a lot of Gran Turismo and then got a chance to drive a race car. That's a story, and that's what they're making out of the thing. I will say the perfect video game movie about cars is Need for Speed. Kid Cudi and
Aaron Paul?
Jesse. Yeah, Aaron Paul hang out, and I've never seen the movie, but those guys are hanging out, and I'm a fan. So, but
It was not
anyways,
a good movie.
I assume not. But yeah, I know you're excited about Beat Saber. I'm sure you don't really care as much about Gran Turismo. But that's
Yeah. I am being pessimistic so that I am hopefully surprised and delighted whenever they announce. They have not talked about whether there's a free upgrade. Like a lot of other games have said, hey, free, if you have it on PSVR 1, you can get it upgraded on PSVR 2. They have not said that about Beat Saber yet. I will obviously buy it again when it comes out.
Yeah.
But like I've put a lot of money into song packs on that thing that I would love to have just carry over. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, you'd at least hope that stuff carried over, because if none of that carried over, that's a rough sell. Be like, rebuy the game, that's one thing, but also all of the songs, like, well, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, yeah, I guess we'll see. Fun stuff. Next up, big union news. Oh, big union coming in to ruin America. No, unions are good. It's from Cameron Koch at GameSpot. Quality assurance workers across Bethesda and ZeniMax Studios have overwhelmingly voted to form a union with the Communication Workers of America, making ZeniMax Workers United the largest certified video game union in the United States and the first official bargaining unit within Microsoft. ZeniMax parent company Microsoft has voluntarily recognized the union, and ZeniMax Workers United will now seek to bargain its first contract with the tech giant. Microsoft announced last year it was committed to creative and collaborative approaches with unions, and the company respect workers' rights by not resisting employee efforts to unionize. I don't, it's like a thing like, oh, cool, people are unionizing. But we've talked about, it's not as much of a thing now, but I remember 5 years ago or whatever, especially like Jason Schreier was only ever tweeting about fucking crunch, like constantly.
Yeah.
And there's like no union to protect people on that. And the fact that one of the biggest gaming company, like ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda, of Machine, of like all of that stuff that Microsoft got in that acquisition, they're the ones who unionize. So like that's a pretty big place to start it. So I mean, again, I've worked for multiple unions, and they've always been good for me. So these guys getting protection and getting what they want seems like a good idea. I guess, Chad, do you hate unions?
No, I don't. What I think is really good to see about this is a lot of the times when union talk comes up, companies, big tech companies especially in this case, like they tend to get defensive, and they're like, oh shit, if you unionize, it's not going to be easy, there's not going to be all your benefits are going to go away and all this kind of, like, it's going to be a very difficult thing, and they try to usually bust those unions up before they even start. So to actually see that they are supporting it, that they are voluntarily recognizing that union, I think that's really cool, and hopefully will set a precedent for the rest of the gaming industry. I think I saw, it's probably Jason Schreier again tweeting. It was like there are now 5 unions in the gaming industry, and hopefully this recognizing them will hopefully make the others easier and let more pop up and all that kind of stuff. So this is really cool that they are welcomed.
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know the other. I know one of them was like Raven, and all the people who were doing QA for Call of Duty were another one that did it, right? If I remember that.
Yeah,
it's interesting
and there was
to see that
Riot, I think, was another one, right?
Did right?
Maybe.
You're probably right. I don't remember. It is interesting to see it's mostly in QA compared to people working like in development. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think a QA is probably tougher because I feel like they get a lot less pay and a lot less rights than a developer, even though developers go through crunch. Everyone I've ever known who's worked QA has had good and bad things to say about it. So it's good that they're unionizing, but you hope it goes across everybody because crunch seems bad from the way that people talk about it. So everyone getting a union seems like a good idea. And yeah, we'll see how quickly it goes across the industry as a whole. So,
I just looked it up. There was the big strike at Riot in 2019 where they all walked out. Game Workers United has supported actions including Riot Games 29 walkout. I can't find anything definitively right now whether they are, but
maybe they got what they wanted based off the strike. Who knows?
Yeah.
I might have told this story before because I remember we talked about unions before, but the only job I ever had fucking funny enough, we talked about Target earlier. Well, off mic, we talked about Target. When I worked at Target, they were making a big deal. Like, hey, if this was during training, if anyone comes in and tries to ask you to join a union, do not do it. It's bad and you don't want to do it. And of course, I was like fucking 16, 17. I was like, I don't give a shit about any of this. I work fucking 2 days a week, whatever. But it was just so funny that the training supervisor was like, the boogeyman, the union man will come in here and he'll take away your money. Don't talk to him. And it's like, what a weird move for Target to be like scared of unions. It's Target. Like, what are we doing here? But I just thought that was funny. All right. And last up, is it a light week? You can tell. Special edition Zelda? Question mark from Jordan Midler at VGC. By the way, I don't know if you've seen this, Chad.
I have.
I think this happened. It looks pretty. I don't know if it's real, but the idea of it looks cool. Images claiming to show a special edition of OLED Nintendo Switch, themed after The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, has appeared online. Images of the console appeared on the Famaboard forum? Famaboard? That's what y'all name your Nintendo forums?
I guess it's Famicom message
like
boards.
Famicom, yeah. I get it. Posted by user Kyson. Sure, I love talking about online personas. However, it's unclear whether the user found these images initially or if they're in possession of the console. If real, the console appears to include 2 gold Joy-Cons featuring ornate patterns. The patterns are replicas of the white dock, or replicated on the white dock, which also features the Triforce in gold. Much like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Splatoon 3 Special Edition Switches, the package doesn't appear to contain the game, suggesting it could release prior to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's release date on May 12th. Again, don't know if it's real, don't know if it's fake, and again, not a lot of news, but this thing's sexy. That's what I will say.
Yeah.
As someone who doesn't care about Special Edition Switches, it's pretty.
Yeah, it looks really good. And this is one of the like things that I was hoping was going to be dropped with the transition into the new generation. Was like all of these special edition consoles that make me want to rebuy another version of the thing that I already own in my home that was several $100s. But it does look good. I also, if my prediction comes true this year about new hardware coming from Nintendo, like, how shitty would it be? Like, oh my God, our premier title, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, pick up this soon-to-become obsolete console that looks all ornate and shit. Like, I was like, why do you do that with your coolest stuff right at the end of the console cycle? I hate that.
I feel like 3DS also had a similar thing where they got like a cool Zelda one, and then they made a new 3DS and then killed 3DS.
Yep.
Like right after that.
Yep.
Yeah, just classic Nintendo, I guess. But it does look cool. And what was your prediction exactly? You said that stuff would get announced this year, or that there'd be nothing
that
about
we
it?
would get some new announcement of more powerful hardware. So it would have to have, it would either be a Nintendo Switch with a new chip, similar to like the new Nintendo 3DS, or it would be Switch 2 or whatever the successor is. But it would be announced, not necessarily released, but we would see it this year.
Interesting. Yeah, they'd be like, hey, that really cool special edition, you loved it. Also, in a month, we're going to talk about the new one. Yeah, you're right. That'd be funny. We'll see. I'm not convinced. That would be wild. You know how crazy that would be to release Zelda and be like, well, this is it because we're going to make something new. Right? I'm just used to Zelda being like a launch game, like a cross-gen launch game, but oh well. That's it for the stories. We do have 2 segments left. I'm going to let Chad go first because apparently yours will lead into mine.
Oh, what? It's Game On Game Show. The Game On Our Game Show, we play a game called Game On. The Game Show on our game show. Game. Adam, you already know this game because I had told you because it's going to feed into your segment, I think, a little bit. This is returning to an old tradition that we used to do on Respawn Aim Fire, where it's going to accomplish the 3 H's. We're going to get hyped. We're going to be hungry for upcoming games. And we're going to be horny as hell. So we're going to play Marry Fuck Kill 2023 Part 1. Okay. This is where we take a look at some of the big bangers coming out in the first 6 months of 2023. We split them up into groups of 3. We rank them Marry Fuck Kill. And then at the end, we will have one game that we definitively want to marry as a podcast, one game that we definitively want to fuck as a podcast, and one game that we definitively want to kill as a podcast.
Okay.
So we have to agree. It has to be unanimous. There are no value judgments associated with any of these titles. So just because we kill something doesn't mean it's a bad game. Just because we fuck it doesn't mean that we lust after it. So with that, I have 4 categories of 3 games. That's 12 games that I've split up into kind of different categories that might make it a little bit more challenging or fun to split them up. And by the end of this, we will have 1 of each.
Okay.
So looking ahead at the year, or at the first 6 months of the year, because we don't really know the last 6 months until after E3, Summer Games Fest, all that kind of stuff. So at the first 6 months of the year, we've got a lot of shit coming out, Adam. This is, again, just some of the like really high-profile AAA releases. There's a ton of really great indie stuff that I'm looking forward to that's not represented on here. So the first category is called A Lot of the Spooky Same. These are games that are coming out that are either remakes or we know exactly what they're going to be because that's the series itself. So we have Dead Space Remake,
Okay.
Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Diablo 4.
Okay.
3 games that are a lot of the spooky same.
Gotcha.
So now you and I have to decide which one we want to marry, which one we want to fuck, which one we want to kill.
Where's the easiest to start? For me, well, here's where I'll start it. I think Diablo 4 has to be either a fuck or a marry, just because it is new. So that is more interesting to me. It also looks sick as hell. So I'm just going to start off and say I like that one. I would not put that one in a kill category, personally.
Okay.
I'll put that above that.
I'm gonna propose that we Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm gonna propose that we marry it because here's the thing: we'll put the little earwig in our thing. We become part of the Ganados, and then we don't care. We're just brainwashed. That's marriage. Like we're into it. We're part of this big zombie horde.
Okay.
And Diablo 4, that's the slick new that we cheat just for one night, just once. That's the fuck. And then Dead Space is all about isolated and being like horrified and like that. Let's kill that. I don't want to be by myself on a giant ship with monsters. That sounds terrible.
I would say not for the same reasons, but also kill Dead Space because I think that one is I don't like being isolated. Like I don't like games where you play by yourself. Period. And horror makes it even worse. So yes, again, I think it'd be great, but yeah, we can kill that one. And then I'm just trying to think, who would I rather have sex with? Diablo. Here's the thing, Chad. Now that you're playing Marvel's Midnight Suns, you know Lilith. Lilith shows up. She's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
Unnaturally sexy for no reason. Lilith, also the bad guy, Diablo 4.
Yeah. Speaking of a lot of the spooky same, like we've had Lilith before in Diablo lore. Like we know Lilith.
Yeah. But wouldn't you rather be with Lilith forever instead of just one night? You know what I'm saying?
Here's an argument on your side. Diablo 4, there are a lot of playable character classes. A lot of replayability. Make sure you're going to be married for a long time. That's a lot of replay value. That's a lot of new things to explore about each other.
Yeah. One night you're with the druid, one night you're with the barbarian.
Exactly. And even when you're with the druid, sometimes it's a wolf, sometimes it's a bear. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go. And I would say another reason to just fuck Resident Evil 4 is that she's gonna fucking complain about being in a garbage can or whatever. What happened? Doesn't she complain about getting in the garbage?
Dumpster, yeah,
she's in the dumpster all the time. Keep her in the dumpster. Dump her after one time.
Here's another. You know how like in movies and stuff like that, and maybe this happens in real life, and that's what movies are based off of. Like there's always that like I'm gonna go sleep with someone else just to make sure that I love you still.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you're with Diablo 4, and then you go have sex with someone in Resident Evil 4 Remake, and then their head pops off, and it turns out they're a giant scorpion, gross flesh monster, and you're like, oh, I do like Diablo 4 better. Thank you. Yeah.
I think that's what we should do. We should marry Diablo and have sex with Resident Evil in a dumpster.
Okay, so we're gonna marry Diablo 4. We're gonna fuck Resident Evil 4 Remake in a dumpster, and we're gonna kill Dead Space Remake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Category 2, inspired by the silver screen. We have Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
Okay.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
And Hogwarts Legacy.
Where do you want to start this at? What are you thinking? I've got
You got something? Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Well, because you said it was Star Wars, Hogwarts, and what was the other one?
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
I will say, because you said movies are based off of real life, so I guess this is how this is going to go. That of all those properties, the last Suicide Squad movie was great. Peacemaker, great. Star Wars, the shows are fantastic on Clone Wars and all that shit. And I love Star Wars movies. The last couple fucking Fantastic Beasts bullshit, awful. That's already getting a negative for me. Just saying, those movies are really bad. They're very bad. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. I hesitate to be involved in romantically somehow. Because it's like, you got a shark.
Yeah.
You got the psychotic woman with a hammer.
Oh, but that's a plus for me.
Yeah. Who else is in that? Who else?
Captain Boomerang Man.
Captain Boomerang Man. Oh, he could be funny though. He could be funny. And who's the other one?
Deadshot.
Deadshot. Oh yeah. Star Wars Jedi Survivor though, like you're exploring the galaxy. You've got lightsabers. You got a dope dude, a robot, and maybe a companion now. It's like that. Okay. Okay. Hogwarts Legacy could really be whatever you want it to be though. That might be the ideal wife or spouse.
Another negative for Hogwarts.
Yeah.
You'd be marrying a child.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you can't fuck a child either. Yeah.
Can't do any of that.
No, you're right. You're right. Hogwarts Legacy, we got to kill you.
You got to kill the child. That's fine.
You can kill the child.
You can't have sex with it, though. So then
High on Life walked so that we could run and kill children in video games. Yes.
We're allowed to do that. Yeah. Oh, so then what? Who would be more interesting, Star Wars or Suicide Squad? I think Star Wars definitely seems like more
Star Wars.
fantastical and hopeful.
Yeah, and it's like the psychotic woman with a hammer. Like that's something you want to tap once, but you don't want to be associated with for the rest of your life.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'll agree with you though. I think we'll agree on this one. That's fine.
Okay, so we're marrying Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We're fucking Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League, and killing Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. I like how all those things are based off real life, by the way. All of those things we just said.
Yes. Category 3 of 4. This one's called The Wait and Sees.
Okay.
The Wait and Sees. These are games that are like, they're high profile, but like, they're not necessarily trusted, or the first entry was a little trepidatious. I'm like, I don't know how the second one's going to be. These are the Wait and Sees.
Okay.
Forspoken,
Mm-hmm.
Dead Island 2, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Mary
The
fuck
wait
killed
and
the wait and
sees.
sees.
Wait and sees for sure. I will say, as much as I want to like Forspoken, that demo was fucking rough. Let me tell you.
Oh, I didn't
did not
play it.
enjoy that.
No?
I didn't get super far into it. I only got like 10, 15 minutes into it, but I did not enjoy the very beginning tutorial. But, like I've said before, the girl who's featured in that game, her mom, Lorraine Pascal, is
That's right.
the most beautiful woman in the world. So I'm not going to kill it just yet, just based off of that. You know, getting married into that family might not be the worst thing ever.
Yeah. That's
I don't
royalty.
know.
That's Hollywood
What else
royalty
we
right
got?
there.
What are the wait and sees? It was, what was the other ones?
Dead Island 2 and
Island
Zelda
2.
Tears of the Kingdom.
God, Dead Island 2 is a joke, though, right?
Yeah.
That game's like a joke. Like it's a meme. Would you want to be caught dead, like doing what is it, the walk after the walk of shame coming out of Dead Island 2's house? Would you ever want to be that person?
No, 100% no.
Hmm.
I did not enjoy Dead Island 1, the game.
Mhm.
I played actually quite a bit of it, but I did not enjoy it. And this game has just been in so much development hell for 100 years. I'm okay if we kill Dead Island.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
For sure. But then who do we want to have sex with? Forspoken or Tears of the Kingdom? Here's the thing. Oh, man, this might be rough. I don't think I want to be with Tears of the Kingdom long term. If I have to deal with it at all.
It's going to be one of
Maybe.
those soulless marriages. Where like you're just together for the status. Like
5 years in and you're just miserable. You're like, I'll be in my den.
yep.
Compared to Forspoken, you know, who knows? Again, mother-in-law might be cute.
That's right. If it doesn't work out between you and her mother-in-law is always there. No, her mother-in-law is your mom. Your mother-in-law.
Yes. Her mom. Her mom. I guess are you cool with that? Marrying Forspoken and killing, or just fucking Zelda? Also,
I'm okay with that.
if you played this game with literally anybody else, there's no way that is the way that list goes. 0% chance.
Here's the thing, though. Like, we know what Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is going to be. There's so much potential in Forspoken, though. We don't. That could be the start of a brand new franchise that carries us for decades.
Could be.
We all know Zelda's a dead end. There's never going to be another one after this.
Never going to get up and get a job. Just going to sit there and just, live the same life over and over again.
All right,
try force this, try force that.
Our final category, before we have to pick the number one kill, the number one fuck, the number one marry, is Chad's grab bag of PlayStation goodies.
All right.
These are all PlayStation exclusive games coming out in the first 6 months that I am super stoked for.
Oh, not Spider-Man then.
Not Spider-Man.
That'd been easy for me.
We've got Destiny 2 Lightfall.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 16.
Mm-hmm.
And Horizon Call of the Mountain.
Ooh.
It's PSVR 2.
Yeah. I will say, Horizon is new and interesting. It's like in all those movies where they take the glasses and the overalls off of her and then she's like really hot. Except for it's not like that at all because we already know that Horizon's pretty cool. But it's first person in VR now. That's interesting and new.
Yeah.
I like Destiny now, so you're not going to hear me complain. And the other one, Final Fantasy. I'm just not a big Final Fantasy
Final
person.
Fantasy 16, yeah.
Here's
the thing. Final Fantasy 16 is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I hesitate to marry it because I've always been of the opinion that, like, if I ever get to the point where I am no longer useful, but I am in fact detrimental to the future of our society, please kill me. Like, if I ever get to the point where I'm just like a racist, crotchety old man, like I shouldn't be around.
Put me in a wood chipper.
Yes. Final Fantasy 16, they're already off, like right off the bat, their creators are like, oh, everyone's white in this game because we wanted to be authentic to the 16th century or whatever the fuck. I was like, okay, you're not progressing at the same rate as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know if I want to be attached to that long term.
Yeah.
So I'm going to vote we don't marry Final Fantasy 16.
Fine with me. But then who's in the fuck category then? If Final Fantasy's out of marry, and then do we want to marry Horizon? No, but then you would have to think about killing Destiny.
Let me propose this.
Chad
Let me
can't
propose
do that.
this. Destiny 2 Lightfall.
Mhm.
It's a known quantity. It's
Yeah.
new. It's evolving, but it's basically the same. But there's something new that you're discovering about each other constantly throughout the years. But it's Old Faithful. That's something you marry.
Okay.
Horizon Call of the Mountain. That's going to be a brand new, wild experience. You're going to the sense of scale and all that for the first time. Like that's something that you're going to want to get in there, get horny and excited about, and fuck.
But what if it's like New Year's Eve? You've had too much to drink and it makes you vomit because it makes you motion sick.
People throw up during sex all the time.
That's what I'm saying. That could happen.
Yeah.
Is that more fun than doing it with I'm trying to think of a white girl's name. Amanda.
Well, let me throw this out there. You're going to be having sex in the 16th century. No one's taking showers. Everybody smells bad. There's no
gross.
protection.
It's like a lamb's stomach or something like that. It's gross. Are you saying that we kill Final Fantasy?
I'm saying we kill Final Fantasy 16.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so
It's
kill
the bottom
Final
of my list
Fantasy 16.
anyways.
Marry Destiny 2 Lightfall. Fuck Horizon.
Yeah, especially because I forgot who it was, but somebody was really into those feet. So like, if
Dallas,
you're
yeah, D Smitty Games in the chat.
Dallas,
Real
man,
into
if you're
feet.
into those robot feet, man, that's a perfect time to have a one night stand thing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here's the last step of this is now we have to, there are 4 for each thing now. 4 kills, 4 fucks, 4 marries. We have to pick the number 1 of each of these.
Okay.
So let's start with the game is called Marry, Fuck, Kill. So let's start with Marry. We have to choose who we're actually going to marry now. Diablo 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Destiny 2 Lightfall, or Forspoken.
I would say the most interesting, most like fulfilling, fun marriage would be Diablo 4.
Ooh, twist. Why?
Because everyone's like old, reliable, and when that's cool and all, but think about reliable and exciting. That's a combo that's rare, and I think Diablo gives that to you.
And Diablo also gives you torment difficulty, and that's sexy.
Everyone loves to be tormented. You know? To me, that's so easy to,
Yeah,
reliable and sexy.
my suggestion was going to be Star Wars Jedi Survivor, just because that whole series is based around like hope and like that's kind of what I want to be surrounded by for the rest of life. But also like Diablo 4 is all about Satan, so that's good too, I guess.
It is,
Yeah.
We can
I'm
do- I'm
okay
fine
with
with
Diablo
either one
4.
of those.
Yeah, let's do
Let's do
Diablo
Diablo.
4.
Yeah.
All right. Mary is Diablo 4. All right. What game are we going to fuck? Is it going to be Resident Evil 4 Remake, Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, Horizon Call of the Mountain, or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
Where
Interesting.
do you thinking first?
Oh, I was going to say everything with a colon got fucked. That's what, pun intended. But Jedi Survivor got married, so.
Yeah. What are you thinking then for this one?
Resident Evil 4, Suicide Squad, Horizon, Zelda.
I've got 2 front runners personally, but I want to hear what you got to say.
Not Resident Evil 4.
No, me either.
No. Zelda's going to be boring.
Yep.
So it's either Suicide Squad or Horizon. And we can go the route of like, I've always wondered what it's like to fuck a shark. Or we can go the like, I can't believe I'm fucking this giant robot. Oh my God, this is amazing. Like there are those 2 routes.
Yeah.
I feel like the second one's going to be a more fun time. Horizon Call of the Mountain is going to be a more fun time to use that fuck on versus just like I'm curious kind of time.
I'll give it to you just, and again, mostly because Dallas is obsessed with robot feet, and this is really just for Dallas.
All right, so we are fucking Horizon Call of the Mountain, and finally, we have to kill either Dead Space Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, Final Fantasy 16, or Dead Island 2.
I don't think there's an easy answer there, but I just feel like Dead Island 2 is the one that is the most like on that list of things that are probably not, that have the best chance of being not good.
Yep.
It's just
Already
like,
wrote
not
it in.
enjoyable.
We are killing Dead Island 2.
Get that out of here. Don't need it. Don't want it.
All right, so that is for the first 6 months. Obviously, all of these games are going to get delayed, and we're never going to play them. But the first 6 months of 2023, we are excited to marry Diablo 4, fuck Horizon Call of the Mountain, and kill Dead Island 2. Tune back in July, see what we think about the second half. That's it for Game On Game Show, and that brings us to the segment from Adam, segment from Adam, segment from Adam.
Yep.
Segment from Adam.
Yep.
Segment from Adam. Segment from Adam. Segment from Adam. Segment from segment. That's E.T. That's John Williams' E.T.
Oh, okay. Dun, 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 dun. No, that's something completely different. So this segment from Adam, it's the beginning of the year, and there's literally only one time we can do this. Is at the beginning of the year, because it's the only time that it's interesting. So we're going to do a little Fantasy League, Fantasy Critic. What is this fucking called? Fantasy Critic.
FantasyCritic.games.
Yeah, we're going to do that. And since it's just me and Chad, we're going to do 5 games apiece, and we're going to do a live draft now. So here's the rules on this. We're not doing picking ups and counter picks and dropping it, because you're going to pick 5 games. And if they release, you will get scored based on what they score on Open Critic. If you get something that's delayed, doesn't matter. Don't have to worry about picks or drops, whatever. Just pick 5. We literally can ignore this until the beginning of the year. That's my plan, is to draft it, not worry about it till later. So I have it set to random, and I'm ready to hit start drafting.
What are the rules on drafting? Like, are we allowed to like platform re-releases? Like, if something comes out on Xbox or PS5, but it hasn't been in the past, does that count? Or
no,
remakes,
everything,
like Dead Space remake, does that count?
Remakes count. Okay. Ports do not. So if it's like, oh, it was on this, but now it's on this, no. So I put it pretty lenient, but yeah, it has to be like a newish experience in the year 2023. All right, so I hit OK on start drafting. Oh, it is my turn to drafting, and this was random. So what am I going to pick first? Adam, what is this list? So I have the list of upcoming games, and I don't personally care about it super much, but I think it's going to score super well. I'm going to go ahead and pick Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
What's your publisher? Your company who's betting on all these games?
My publisher's, I think it's just Team Gumby.
It is okay. Cool.
It's not as creative as yours. Chad, what is yours as I select Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
My publisher is Duck Poops.
I don't know why, but it's good. But you're on the clock now, dude.
I came up with it today off the top of my head, and I just laughed so hard. Duck Poops.
It's pretty good.
All right. Here's what I'm going to write in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a known quantity.
Okay.
It's also coming off the backs of several other games that are very, very good, that have done very well, that are also known quantities. And I'm going to draft Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Oh, good pick.
Yep. The original game already got great reviews. The remakes of the other games already getting fantastic reviews. That's what I'm putting in there.
Okay. Did you click drafted already?
It's in my thing, but draft. Now I have to pick the second game, I guess.
Okay, so it's a snake draft. It goes, you get 2 in a row, then I'm about to get 2 in a row. Okay.
Got it.
Cool.
Okay. I have not thought this far ahead yet. So
he's like, not ready for that.
Oh, here's something else. Okay. It's a sequel in the series. The first one got a little bit of flack for some technical issues, some hiccups, but overall was very well reviewed. I'm going to put in here Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
You son of a bitch. You stole my video game.
The sequel, they've got the engine, they've got the bugs fixed, they've got all of that. Now they're just ready to throw out something super polished.
All right. Took one of my favorites, but that's cool. There's no problem with that because I'm about to get 2 in a row. So, all right. Looking at this list, what am I going to take a chance on? And I also have to think of, so there's some things on my list that are in my mind. I'm like, that might get delayed. I don't know if I want to chance something being that late in the year or not having a release date, because some of these games don't have release dates yet. I will take one. I would normally wait, but I'm about to get back to back, so it really doesn't matter. It's probably going to be one of the best reviewed games of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably going to be a front runner for indie game of the year. I'm taking Hollow Knight Silk Song, baby.
Oh shit! You think that's going to come out this year?
at that Xbox presentation, said everything in this presentation is 1 year from now at latest. So
Okay.
I think we're definitely going to get it by the end of the year. So I'm taking Hollow Knight. I think that's going to be a banger. I think that's going to score very well. And I've got another one again. And what I'm going to do here. See, I'm looking at that. I'm like, I don't trust that comes out this year. It's a bit of a cheat, but I know it's going to score well because all racing games normally score well, especially next-gen racing games. I'm going to go ahead and take Forza Motorsport.
Okay.
That game will get nothing but, I mean, literally Horizon 5 got Game of the Year at IGN. These games always review. I mean, it's a super pretty racing game. So Forza Motorsport, Xbox Series X version, the rebrand. And that's what I took, Forza. There we go. I believe we both have 2 games left.
Okay. I'm going to go with one that I think is a sure thing and one that I'm taking a chance on. The sure thing. Reviewed really well, got snubbed at just about everything the year that it came out. So I'm hoping that this one gets a little bit more recognition. This is Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
from
good
Insomniac
one. I'm just
Games.
worried about the release date.
They
I'm with
seemed
you, too.
very confident that it was going to be fall this year. So
Yeah, hopefully we'll see.
now this one is the one I'm taking a chance on.
Mhm.
This one I'm not sure that it's going to be this year, but Lord, I hope it is. I'm going to go Final Fantasy Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, they did say winter, so we're
It
not
did
exactly
say winter,
sure,
so but if it comes out, that might
that'll be
sweep.
a banger.
So
All right, so I currently have 3. Chad has 4, so I'm get 2 in a row, and then Chad gets 1 more. So I
Yep.
can kind of do whatever I want at this point. Julie, I want to take a crazy one. All right, I'm going to go and get it out the way. I'm glad it lasted to the last round. I didn't think you would take it from me anyways, but I will be picking Baldur's Gate 3. It comes out of early access into full release. I think it's going to be really good, especially it being only on PC, which means it's only getting PC reviews. PC nerds are reviewing it. It'll be a good time. So, Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, this game already has a score. Damn it.
oh damn,
Because it's currently in early access. I could override this, but I'm not going to. Just heads up, I would have took Baldur's Gate 3 because I think it's going to be awesome. I will go ahead and switch over to Street Fighter 5 or 6. Excuse me, Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
Is the new one coming out? Again, fighting game. People really like the beta. People who like fighting games will review it and will probably like it a lot. So I'm just going to go there. And then for my last one, do I want to take a chance or do I want to be safe? Okay. I want to take Armored Core so bad. Just because I'm like, people are horny for From Software, but I really, Elden Ring got delayed. Like, delays are possible. We don't have a date. I'm also like, I think I'm going to go Diablo 4. We're going to marry it and we're going to draft it.
Well, that makes my next decision a little bit easier.
Yep. Sorry, I have to do it. I think it's going to be good. I think people are going to be into it. And that's it. That's it for me. That's my list.
All right. So I'm still waffling between 2 games. I was thinking Diablo 4 a little bit, so that took that out of the running.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got in here. I could go with Destiny 2 Lightfall.
Yeah.
I think that people
Maybe.
who
I don't think expansion packs are actually allowed in this draft, so you might not actually be able to go with it.
Well, I might not be able to do that. I can try, but I might not be able to.
You can look it up and see. You only have 1 game left, by the way.
Yeah, 1 game. So and you have no games left, right? So
Yeah,
I
I'm
can just
done.
talk out loud about anything.
Yeah, you
it
just
doesn't
talk,
fucking
talk,
matter.
talk,
Okay. So the other thing that I was thinking about is maybe doing Redfall. I had completely written it off and was like, okay, that looks kind of fun. But then Cozy comes in with his prediction last week.
Yeah.
And makes me think, maybe this game is going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was. But I just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I know Destiny 2 is in, like, its heyday in terms of storytelling and people are really enjoying the game and all this kind of stuff. And it's going to introduce a brand new power for the first time in 2 years. It's like, I don't know. Okay. I'm going to try Destiny 2 Lightfall, see if it lets me do it.
And see if it pops up. It might not because I think it's an expansion, so I don't think expansions are allowed in this draft. That's the thing I had to change before, and I don't.
It is ineligible. All right.
Yeah, I assume so.
I'm going to take a big old chance. I'm going to go with Redfall.
Redfall. Ooh, all right. You throw that in there, and I'll read people out our list.
Ooh. Okay, draft is
Okay.
complete.
So our list, and again, no drops, no pickups. Whoever has the best score by the end of the year will win. I have Team Gumby as Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Hollow Knight Silksong, Forza Motorsport, Street Fighter 6, and Diablo 4. Duck Duck Poops as Resident Evil 4 Remake, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and Redfall. Now, I do have a list of things that were on my list that I didn't get a pick. Again, I talked about Baldur's Gate, talked about Armored Core. Me Replaced looks also very good, which is like the weird, like 2.5D pixel art.
Oh, yeah.
Blade Runner looking game.
Yeah.
Looks awesome. I also had Atomic Hearts on here, which is like the Russian BioShock.
I almost put
Maybe.
that in our Marry Fuck Kill.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe, I don't really know. Starfield was on here. I'm excited for Starfield, but who knows
Oh, yeah, Starfield. Oh.
I don't know how reviewers are going to react. Like, I feel like that game get like a lot of 8s and 9s, but I'm looking for things to get 10s. Wolong, the Fallen Dynasty game.
I thought
Looks
about
really
that
cool.
too. Yep.
Yeah, people
That
like
doesn't have
Neo.
any like estimated quarter or anything, right?
I think it's a release date. I think it's like March something.
Oh, does it?
Like it has a release date. Yeah.
Oh.
That one's coming out soon. Octopath Traveler 2. I almost put on there. I just feel like people know what that game is and they're into that kind of game. Again, RPG people will be reviewing RPG games. So maybe did. I also had Dead Space Remake as a potential one. But
Oh,
I
you're
went
right.
with the
Wolong
ones
Fallen
that
Dynasty, March 3rd.
Yep. But I went with the ones that I listed. So by the end of the year, we'll see who scores better. Maybe we'll periodically check in on it as things come out to see how we're doing. But right now, that's how the draft went, and that's my segment for the week.
All right. Thank you, Adam. We will know the results of that probably at the end of the year. So
Yep.
we'll continue to check in on it, though. And that's it. We've already done Game on Game Show, so that is it for our podcast, episode 290 of Respawn Aim Fire. We have news about our Patreon barf poll. If you are a patron, you can go to patreon.com/respawnaimfire, float us $1, and you get to vote on our backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends games that we play each month. So you get to choose. Adam threw out 4 games on there. The poll was up for a little over 2 days. And I assume you are looking that up right now, Adam.
I've
is that
already looked
correct?
it up.
Oh, perfect. So what is our barf game for the month of January?
The winner of the barf game for January is Metal Gear Solid 3, excuse me, Snake Eater. So, yeah, Metal Gear 3 is what we're going to be playing. I'm looking at how long to beat right now. It says just main story is about 16 hours. So,
All right. Now I got to decide if I'm going to play that on Vita or whether I'm going to play it on my
See which
PS5.
version you have of it. Even though that, it's an older game and, Konami's weird with their releases and not releases. I know that there is an HD collection of 2 and 3, which I own, which I was like, all right, I can do that. And like you said, there's also like a PSP and a GameCube version. This game it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's even on Vita.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I think I
Mobile?
played it on Vita when the collection came out, and then I transferred my saves. I don't know if you know what transferring is, but that's the made-up word that Kojima made up for transferring your save data between consoles. But I'll transfer my save to my PS3, which popped another platinum trophy, or maybe it was my PS4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I
You know
got 2
what's crazy?
platinums in that game.
For
What?
as much as, again, I appreciate Kojima. I like people who are creative and stuff. I normally don't vibe with his games. I'm actively playing 2 Kojima games now based on this barf poll. I've been playing Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Then I stopped that because I started playing a better game in Persona 5. And I'm going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 3. So maybe the Kojima bug will bite me. I've tried 7 times before. We'll see if it happens this time. But I am excited to play. This is one that people like a lot, right?
Have you ever played a Metal Gear game?
Yeah, I played multiple. I played like an hour of multiple, and then it was like,
Gotcha.
So we'll see. This is the one with the bees, right?
This is the one to play. Yeah, this has the one with the man with the bees. It's got this is a good one. This is a good one to play if you're gonna complete one for the first time. This is good.
Yeah, if it's
also
16 hours for main, it's probably 8 hours of cutscenes. So 8 hours of gameplay. I can
8 hours of codex calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right. If you are playing Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater at home, or if you've played it in the past and you have strong feelings about it, let us know. Be on the show. Come join us. Talk about it at the end of the month. Or you could just, if you're camera shy You can just write in your thoughts via email, and we will try to remember to read them. Good thing about having Alex on the show now very regularly is that like we never forget to read his thoughts because he's just here now and he can say them out
He's just
loud.
there to do it. It's great.
All right. That's it for episode 290. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Until next time, here's our usual sign-off. Duck, duck, poops.